I see the U.S. government's going after Steam. For what? Steam is an unsafe place for teens and young adult, U.S. Senator warns Gabe Newell of more intense scrutiny from the government if Valve doesn't take action against extremist content. You think that's where a lot of teens and young adults are getting their extremist content, Senator? Not Twitter and TikTok? You think it's Steam? It has been brought to your attention before that extremist ideologies seem to find a home on Steam, Warner wrote in his letter. In 2022, Valve received a Senate letter identifying nearly identical activity on your platform, and yet 2 years later it appears that Valve has chosen to continue a hands-off type approach to content moderation that favors allowing some users to engage in sustained bouts of disturbing and violent rhetoric, rather than ensure that all of its users can find a welcoming and safe environment across your platform. This is just such a bunch of fucking baloney, man. Open up Twitter right now, Senator. Tell me the first thing you see. And yeah, Steam's the big proponent of it. It's true, man. Why are you denying it? Oh, I'm sure it exists on Steam. This is like the least egregious place it exists, though. By far. They probably didn't like his response to Half-Life 3. Yeah, true. Doesn't mean it isn't an issue. You know what it does mean? That it's not the biggest issue. If you really want to tackle this problem, you should probably start with the number one place where the teens and young adults are getting that kind of content fed to them directly through the algorithm. As opposed to on Steam, where you might find like a weird forum post from some unhinged goober. Or in like your Dota 2 lobbies. This is fucking nothing. This is stupid. It's a waste of resources. If you want to tackle a problem, start at the absolute top of it. Never been so wrong. About what? That is like the most objectively true thing I think I've ever said. That Twitter and TikTok are exponentially worse than Steam when it comes to an unsafe place for teens and adults and extremist content. I don't go on Twitter much anymore, but when I go on occasionally, one of the first things I'm usually fed is some like over-the-top racist take from some massive blue checkmark account. Like what's the big one that's always spreading like how black people are like the worst thing for America? It's like I am yes or something. Like that is a promoted account on Twitter. I haven't had that happen on Steam. It is significantly worse when you go to Twitter and TikTok. It actively pushes that to you. On Steam, I don't even know how you find it. Like, it's not even that readily available. I go on Steam and dumpster dive through new releases and rarely see anything alarming. So if you want to take this problem seriously, I don't know why you would target Steam first and foremost. That makes no fucking sense. That is a waste of time, and that is performative nonsense. Twitter full of porn bots. That's not unsafe for teens and young adults. A platform that's easily accessible and openly used by children that is full of nothing but porn bots in every single reply to every big post. How is that unsafe for teens and young adults? It's Steam that's the problem. This article cataloged all Pepe as hate symbol in their data, by the way. How useful. What good research. Where did you see that? I didn't even bother scrolling down. Where is it? Oh, wait, there's a PC Gamer. I thought, yeah. Hold on. I thought it was going to be directly in here, like they're the ones that did this. Steam-powered hate, top gaming site rife with extremism and anti-Semitism. Yeah, they got the Pepes up there. Significant number of Steam users and group pages use an avatar with potentially extremist or hateful symbols. Multiple users can have the same avatar. CEO identified 827,000 user and group profiles with avatars that contain extremist or hateful symbols. The most popular were Pepe, swastikas, and the white supremacist skull or siege mask, and the Nazi eagle. I like how Pepe found itself in here with these. Do the same analysis on Twitter. Man, I bet it has so much less than 827,000. Yeah, Twitter probably has like none of these. I bet there's no profile pics with those. Of the 996,000 detections, Pepe was the most detected symbol, accounting for over 544,000 or 54.6% of all symbols detected. Wow. Holy. That is a lot. Hey, if nothing else, that is a lot of Pepes. Honestly, this data seems to suggest that there is less hateful and extremist shit than I would have thought, honestly. Because it's almost all Pepe. In second place is a swastika. If you did this on Twitter right now, swastika would probably have Pepe numbers. Do they not understand that Pepe isn't always used in a hateful way? They understand that, but it's easier to spin a narrative this way. I just want to know why they don't actively do anything about the actual big ones, the actual huge ones. Again, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I don't see them doing anything on those. Maybe it's coming. Maybe that's like part of their really big one. That must be it. Apparently Disney made big donations to the senator and they made a big investment into Epic Games Store. I don't know if that's true or not, but I love that idea. That's so good. That's so on brand for Disney. I think some of you are underestimating just how much of a shithole Twitter was even before Elon. I feel like most people know that. Twitter's been a shithole for shit. God, how many years? When did Tumblr go down? I feel like you can pinpoint that on a graph exactly when Twitter went to the absolute most depraved garbage place imaginable, right around that time. The astronauts are still stuck in space. The Boeing astronauts still up there? Oh, yeah, no. Wait. No. Yeah, they're still up there. When are they coming? Are they ever coming back? I'd be pissed if I was one of those astronauts. Yeah, you don't fucking say. It was supposed to be what? Was it 20 days? I think it was even less. I think they were only supposed to be there for like... 20 days for some reason keeps ringing in my head, but I think it was less. But regardless, they weren't supposed to be there for very long, a matter of days. And now they're going to end up being there for like a whole year. Because Boeing is so inept. 8 days. They were supposed to be there for 8 days. That sounds more accurate. 8 days to a year is insane. Yeah, and it's entirely Boeing's fault because Boeing is just such an inept company. It's like Gilligan's Island in space. Yeah. Slandering Boeing again, I see. That's not slander. Their Starliner literally it didn't work. Like, it got them there and it couldn't get them home. It had malfunction after malfunction after malfunction after malfunction, and eventually it just shot that shit back to Earth and the astronauts couldn't be on it because it didn't work. So now they've just been stuck there ever since. What happened to SpaceX getting them home? Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The astronauts in space made an update video, posted it in media if you want to see it. Actually, I do want to see it. Are they in good spirits about it? Because I'd be pissed. I would not be in good spirits. I would actually, with no, like, not exaggerating, I would have been off my fucking gourd by now if an 8-day trip turned into a year stranded out there. Like, I know they have food and everything, but that's just terrible.
This morning, NASA
hey, we're still alive. Fuck Boeing.
Concerns over the health of 2 astronauts stranded in space now more than 150 days longer than planned. NASA's chief medical officer says crew health is regularly monitored by dedicated flight surgeons on Earth, and they have an individual diet and fitness regime to ensure they remain healthy.
That's good, because they're going to be there for the rest of their lives.
That includes running, biking, and lifting. Wilmore, a former football star for Tennessee Tech, telling his alma mater,
"We work out 2.5 hours a day every single day, so it's great to stay in shape."
Former astronaut Mike Massimino says exercise in space is important to make up for the lack of physical stress on the body while experiencing weightlessness.
You're just floating from one space to the other, and there's no.
Why are they stuck there? They were on the Boeing Starliner, and the Starliner malfunctioned. Because it was a pile of dog shit, couldn't get them home, and they've been stuck there ever since.
Williams and Wilmore's return to Earth has been significantly delayed. They were only expected to stay in space for roughly a week, but now will fly home in a different capsule with the SpaceX Crew 9 mission in February.
God.
But this morning, the space...
Oh, from a week to almost a year. Oh, that's so awful. That's so awful. With no backup plan if anything goes wrong. I'm a little foggy in all the details. We followed this more actively over the first like 3 months that they were stuck there. But they had a couple different plans to get them back, all of which didn't work out. Because I remember they had like a big plan to get them out like a month or two after the Boeing Starliner took a shit. And then I don't know what happened with that. I don't remember now. It's not Boeing's fault. This could have happened to anybody. That's true. It's not entirely Boeing's fault. Anyone could have made an absolutely terrible fucking Starliner at the end of the day. It could have been anybody. Just happened to be Boeing, the company that's now got a reputation for suboptimal work and ineptitude. The longest time spent in space was 437 days, so they're getting close. Is that really the longest time spent in space? I thought it'd be a lot more. I wonder how bad things would change if they didn't exercise. Well, I mean, I don't think they'd even survive if they weren't getting some kind of physical activity to the body. They'd start to atrophy. I think. I imagine. In weightlessness, I think they'd start to atrophy if they weren't actively exercising. It's a crucial part of living up there. The lack of gravity and I think increased radiation isn't good for you past a year. Well, they're going to be coming up on that. But did you know, I get this from a Veritasium video, I'm sure all of you know because it's such a big video, the amount of radiation astronauts get is substantial, but it's not as much as just your ordinary, everyday chain smoker. Sounds like anti-big cigarette propaganda. You just reminded me of something, like I saw this probably like close to 2 months now. There was, movement's the wrong word, but there was a group that was trying to publish all of the health benefits of smoking. Earnestly, not like a meme. I saw them doing like a promoted post on Twitter back when I was using Twitter a little more often. I saw promoted posts on like the health benefits of smoking and how you'd been lied to most of your life about cigarettes. Playing off of like the classic like the government's lying to you, because that's the easiest thing to sell shit. I was blown away because I have no doubt people would see that and be like, "Oh my god, wait, cigarettes are actually good for you. They're actually like not bad." They're looking for the neutron star cigars. True, that could be it. Aren't they now doing that for vaping? I don't know if they're doing that for vaping now, but I remember when I was in college, when Juul pods first started popping up, there were so many people around campus that were arguing that Juul pods were like they had no downsides. Like there was nothing wrong with Juul pods. Like you are healthy and it's not a problem. I don't know if that's the norm now or anything, but I remember that back in college. Do you still like hearing about goofy Kickstarters? Kira made a video on a Kickstarter MMO backed by NASA. I do love goofy Kickstarters. An MMO backed by NASA, huh? Is it Star Rangers? Must be.